Multiple safes broken into, drawers ripped open, closets ransacked, boxes.
What the feds just uncovered in Floyd Mayweather's house is terrifying. They going after Floyd Mayweather's bag. Remember the brother that walked around with $100 million check in his bag, said he ain't even got to cash it? Well, they on his line.
I think he got to right now because the money gone. So the money's really gone.
A startling new report says the FBI uncovered a $420 million scheme connected to Floyd Money Mayweather. The reports claim agents searched his Las Vegas home and allegedly discovered signs of major financial manipulation, questionable investments, and suspicious overseas accounts. These findings have raised serious questions about the retired boxing star's luxury empire. The story gained even more attention after ESPN personality Stephen A. Smith reacted with an emotional, direct, and unfiltered response that reflected what many people were already thinking.
I'll show you a couple toys. They call this the $1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Well, we are on ESPN. These are sports cars. It's a sports network. This car costs $3.2 million. This Bugatti right here costs $1.6 million. You ain't seen these toys?
I haven't seen these?
No.
What? Floyd, this is 7 cars, man. Silver, platinum, Miami, black LA, white Vegas.
Yeah, in New York, I got my...
Federal agents are said to have raided Mayweather's multi-million-dollar Las Vegas mansion, a move that quickly made headlines. Reports soon suggested the raid was part of a larger investigation into a complex financial operation involving shell companies, crypto money laundering, and fake investment schemes allegedly linked to people close to Mayweather.
Hey, what's up everybody? So check it out. This morning I was walking through Beverly Hills and I passed by Floyd Mayweather's $30 million mansion. It's over 15,000 square feet with 6 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, resort-style backyard.
Sources close to the case say investigators confiscated a significant amount of material, including multiple electronic devices, financial records, documents related to offshore accounts, and even encrypted ledgers. Reports indicate that the total value under review could reach $420 million linked to alleged financial fraud.
My lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
For years, Mayweather has showcased the money team lifestyle with private jets, Bugattis, huge diamond chains, and constant displays of cash. Now, federal investigators reportedly suspect that some of this wealth could have come from illegal activities. Even more concerning, certain documents suggest Mayweather may have knowingly invested in risky ventures or served as the public figure for schemes that allegedly defrauded thousands, particularly in international markets.
How much is it?
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million, dude?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1.8 is high. 18 life.
That happy birthday, champ.
That's how we doing.
1 point. That is sick, dude.
But you gotta show him what he say,
Money green.
No,
Hold on. This watch was made specifically for the champ, Floyd Money Mayweather. 101 piece. What's it called?
One of one.
Money team. Can we see it on him? Yes, sir.
That one of one.
$1.8 million.
It's a one of one. I love that.
Stephen A. Smith has had a close-up view of Mayweather's lavish lifestyle, from his mansion and luxury car collection to his private jet. He also knows the level of financial success Floyd has achieved over the years. Having seen the results of Mayweather's career firsthand, Smith understands what his discipline and work in the ring produced. This gives him a unique perspective when talking about the money empire Floyd built and the business choices and financial habits that shaped it.
Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much, and literally walked in the ring and said, I'm going to embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
Stephen A. Smith's strong reaction carries extra weight because he has actually been inside Mayweather's mansion. In previous interviews and podcasts, Smith described Floyd's home as a symbol of success, showing what someone can achieve through talent, discipline, and clever branding.
Why? Talk to me about why you make the decision to drive different colored cars in respective cities.
Spoiled brat.
Oh, just being a brat?
Just being a brat.
The 7 cars that you showed me are in excess of $15 to $20 million.
Let me see what's the number. We go 3-1.
And you don't drive them.
It's close to 15 million. You're right. It's close to 15.
Things started to shift when Mayweather moved into exhibition boxing. After retiring, he returned to the ring not to build his legacy, but seemingly to keep the money coming. His fight with Logan Paul is often cited as a prime example. Stephen A. Smith criticized the decision, saying the matchup had little real competitive value. Logan Paul, a YouTuber turned boxer, was never considered a serious challenge for Mayweather. For someone who once dominated the sport, taking that fight appeared less about greatness and more about a payday.
As if not the greatest boxer in history, he's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago, and for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor, not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
When Floyd Mayweather was asked about Logan Paul's claims that he hadn't been paid during a Pivot podcast appearance, he tried to brush it off. He told the host he supports YouTube and suggested the delay wasn't a big deal, explaining the payment was just taking longer than expected. Mayweather framed it as a normal delay, saying money doesn't always arrive instantly. But to many listeners, his response felt evasive, as if he was downplaying the issue instead of clearly addressing whether he still owed money.
Logan Paul, he said you owe him some bread. How you feel about someone making those type of accusations?
That comes with the territory.
Right.
And you got to realize, when you used to getting, to them, that's real money. And I like YouTube because I don't mind getting a YouTube check.
Sure, we getting a YouTube check.
Right.
This is going to be a big YouTube check.
Yeah, so, the money is not coming fast enough. That's why when they say money on the back end, as far as pay-per-view, it take a while, And he shouldn't trip. If he feel like he done great numbers and we done record-breaking numbers, then I understand. Nothing comes right away. Just like I'm still collecting checks from fights 7 or 8 years ago. I'm still collecting checks. Why? Because I made smart moves and I'm my own boss. So they hate when the tables turn.
Right.
Look how many years they've been owing us money. But we don't never trip. So now when the tables turn, they say, oh, you owe us something. Be happy with the biggest payday you ever got in your life.
Recent reports have cast doubt on Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s claim that he owns a $42 million real estate portfolio of 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. While Mayweather has publicly said and posted online that he owns the properties outright, investigations suggest it might not be that straightforward. In an Instagram video, Mayweather showed several buildings and stated, "All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners." However, property records reviewed by Business Insider show that ownership of those buildings has not actually changed.
Guess what? You can do the same.
All right. Well, now we're trying to figure out what happened, right, with Business Insider. So according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him. And so I think this is something where maybe he owns a piece of this or shares in it, but it hasn't changed hands because the majority owner is still the same owner that it was before. I'm trying to understand what happened with this, but I know there's a story that's circulating, so just putting it out there. Whew, it's a tough one. I'm trying to understand as a real estate person myself, what exactly he is communicating when he's saying that he owns this, because they're trying to make it seem like he doesn't, but what it seems like is that he owns shares of these.
Mayweather Jr. recently addressed rumors that his $42 million real estate purchase might have caused financial problems. He insisted the deal was entirely his, saying he bought 62 buildings in Manhattan on his own. He stressed that the money came solely from him, using his own funds with no one else involved in the transaction.
Yes, Floyd Mayweather has reportedly acquired 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan, spending approximately $402 million. This substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Vada Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, "Growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm a transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion rather than full ownership of all 62 buildings outright." In summary, Floyd Mayweather has publicly claimed to purchase 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan for $402 million, aiming to enhance affordable housing in the area. While these claims have been widely reported, the exact details and confirmation of ownership are still subject to verification. So even ChatGPT is saying, like, that's not official. Whether Mayweather is saying it or not, ChatGPT is saying it's not official. That deal has not gone through.
However, property records reviewed by Business Insider show that ownership of the buildings has not actually changed, suggesting Mayweather may have bought only a minority stake, possibly with options to increase later. This difference between his statements and the records has raised questions about whether his claims are accurate or if he is leaving out key details about the deal. Mayweather Jr., long celebrated as one of the highest-paid boxers in history, built his fortune through an undefeated career and smart self-promotion.
Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
The third having any real kind of boxing background. I did not see the fight, although I heard he lost every round and Floyd Money Mayweather was whipping him pretty good. I was not there. I did not see it. I do not know. Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street, anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
Stephen A. Smith has often voiced concern about Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s post-retirement exhibition fights. While he acknowledged that the fight with Conor McGregor was understandable given McGregor's combat sports background, Smith has been critical of matches against less competitive opponents. He argues that taking these fights mainly for money could tarnish the legacy Mayweather worked so hard to create.
You made money. You're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is I made smart investments and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
We ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses. I don't want my kids to have to answer to nobody. So I will take the long road. I will take the bumps and the bruises for them, but for my loved ones.
But fear, it's important to point this out about you. You're not just that way when it comes to your family and your children. You're that way with professional athletes. I know NBA players that have relationships with you, professional football players that have relationships with you, etc. And the same thing that you just said that you preach to your children and your family, you've been preaching to them. That seems to be a personal mission of yours. Why?
It's about giving back. You know, I don't have to go on record and talk about the things that I do. I don't have to go on record.
In a candid interview, Smith questioned Mayweather about his priorities, asking if he valued his legacy more than making money. Mayweather's responses, which highlighted his business skills and ability to earn, left Smith and others feeling that his focus had shifted from preserving his boxing accomplishments to pursuing financial gain.
No, Floyd's not going to do MMA, but he is going to box again. He's enjoying this attention. It's been very smart what he did. I think it surprised him. I think he was just going out to have a little bit of fun. I don't think he realized he could get 4 and 5 weeks of headlines out of this, but he does need to box again, for sure. I mean, you call it breaking news, but I will tell you unequivocally right now, Floyd Mayweather does and is planning to box one more time.
And the motivation behind getting into a ring again to box when he said he's retired, why? Why do it?
Floyd's broke. You got to understand, the only thing more embellished than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and he made a lot of money. But remember this, it does not matter what you made, it matters what you kept, and he is a dum-dum.
So anyone, Floyd's made $1 billion, Floyd has gotten $300 million for Pacquiao, $300 million for McGregor. That might be true, but that money does not exist anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Mike Tyson, he did real well too. Evander Holyfield, again, it's not what you made. And don't forget, boxing and MMA math, whatever that number is, you get 30% of. So 30% of $1 billion, he still did really well, but not when you're spending money like that. I mean, that's just the way it works. We've seen a progression of these guys, one after the next, that all end up the same way. And that's broke, and they're just not smart with their money. And, I mean, that's all it comes down to. I'm not even trying to bag on Floyd. Look, he's just not a very bright guy. He's surrounded with even less bright guys. This is the way it works when you're a boxer and you go spend that kind of money. If you ever buy things that cost money to own, you're going to be broke.
In an interview with Stephen A. Smith, Mayweather was asked whether he valued his legacy or his earnings more. Known for his money persona, he confirmed that he had earned over $800 million throughout his career, but emphasized that his primary focus has always been on building and protecting his wealth.
I've already, in the sport of boxing, I've already made somewhere upwards of $800 million.
You made money. You're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
Well, we ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses.
Adding to the debate, former UFC fighter and analyst Chael Sonnen offered a surprising view. He suggested that the Mayweather vs. McGregor fight wasn't as financially massive as it appeared. Sonnen said many empty seats were filled with stand-ins to make the arena look full. Having seen the event firsthand, he criticized the image created by Mayweather's PR team, pointing out the illusion of a sold-out crowd.